The Black Ice Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy D. What do I want to speak on today? I think I want to speak on the rudeness of foreigners coming to this country, aimed at black people. First off, just finished doing my morning run, but as we were pulling up, two people were coming around the track, and these two people who are foreigners just stared into the car, and I stared back at them. Like, that is an early morning awakening of you start running and then you get a greeting like that. They're just staring in the car. Now, it's one thing that people need to understand. They need to understand, overstand, and especially for black folks, understand. You know, when they talk about opportunity, you get an opportunity to come to this country and make your dreams come true. Well, we are the opportunity that makes the dream come true. What do I mean by that? Well, when you understand the correct history, you realize that there's land and then there's property. Black people were, and in many cases are still, the property that makes it possible for people to be able to get land pretty much scot-free. And what do I mean by that? When you understand, overstand, and understand the history of this country, you realize that we were stolen from our country and our continent and brought over to be free labor. When people came over to this country, they brought whatever they had, and they were able to possibly purchase a few slaves from off the auctioning block. And once they got the slaves from off the auctioning block, depending on how many slaves they had, was how many acreage of land to be able to grow a crop that then would be the economic engine. So we are the opportunity. And what do I mean by many times we are still the economic opportunity? It's the same game, but just switched and changed a little bit. What you are living on in the black neighborhoods is a plantation. Anytime that you go shop with Asian, Arab, or any other nationality's store, and they're able to get loans to open up the store, but you are not, they are gaining opportunity to have land through your plantation dollar. You're working for someone else, which puts you on one plantation, and then you go and spend your money in your, what you consider as a neighborhood, but which is a plantation, and you go give your money to someone else that doesn't look like you, hasn't had the experiences like you, and hasn't been born in this country. You are on a plantation. You are still the opportunity that makes the economic engine run, which then makes their dreams come true. So we need to be clear on that. And when I say people who look like you, we have to be careful not to be duped into thinking people who come from other countries who have the same skin pigmentation as us are on the same game. Unless they're Pan-African, they are not on the same thought wavelength as some of us. And what do I mean by that? We were in the store, and we were in one of the aisles, right? And so we were looking at what we were looking at, and you know, they're starting to make the aisles smaller and smaller in stores now because they're trying to make less space in the aisles for more product on the shelves, to make more aisles for more product, you know, to make it seem like it's just so packed in and that, you know, you really want to come there and shop there, okay? So we're in the aisle, and this person, he was with his little daughter. He looked like he was Jamaican. I feel somebody like staring at me. And so I turn around and I look, and there's this guy, and he's standing there, and he has a look on his face like my wife and I are in his way. And I look, and I do this with white folks all the time. And I'm gonna get to the conclusion of this. So if I do it to white folks, I'm gonna do it to someone who, first I looked at his look and I said, okay, he's got the same skin pigmentation as me, but his bone structure is a little different, which means that he comes from a different country. And when he opened his mouth, he had an accent. I said, yes, I'm right. So I turn around, and so he looked, I said, oh, do you want to get by? I said, excuse me would be nice. Now he took it as if I was saying, excuse me. And he said, oh, no problem. I said, no. See, some people who come from other countries who are being pumped the white code about how to treat black people in America, sometimes they pick up that arrogant trait and they want to display it, right? But when you know your history, his story and our story within his story, you realize that there's no one greater or better than black Americans because of what we had to go through. So anyway, so I'm looking at him, and he says, oh, no problem. I say, no. I said, I'm not saying excuse me. I'm saying that you should say excuse me. It's only common courtesy, because the type of people we are, we won't even see you unless you say excuse me. And then of course when we left out, they were checking out at the same time, and when I saw him, he was walking his cart in this one little narrow aisleway to get out, and I made sure that I walked in front and didn't say anything as we walked out, because you know, that arrogance of people wanting to come here and want to live the white code. And we are the opportunity. We are the engine that makes this motherfucker run. If we left tomorrow, all of America will fall economically, because we are the engine that makes it run. And you can research it. If you doubt me, all you have to do is research it. Let's start with the 400 years of free labor. The hourly wage that they give out today, still almost slave wages. The prison industrial complex, the way that the government runs, the judicial system runs, everything. We are the economic opportunity, and we have been the economic opportunity since they stole us away from our various countries, from the continent of Africa, and the other half of us who were already here in America being duped, rebred, enslaved, and bleached out to make what is now the American Indian. So when you know that history, you say, hey, you know, I don't want to be in freedom. I'm just going to be free. And so that's what you determine. So once you realize and you do the history and you figure out that we are the opportunity, we are the economic engine that runs this, no one can come in and disrespect you. You go in and shop in those different places and they disrespect you. They disrespect you and act like this is not your country when they just got here. So that's food for thought. Put it all together, arrange it, and come to your own conclusions. The Black Ice Chronicles.